Adding clams to my homemade marinara makes for a lighter and coastal fresh Italian pasta dish. Linguine is classic, but you can use any long macaroni. Today, I'm making yet another fabulous dish using my homemade marinara. Hey guys, so first to get started on our clams and linguine, or linguine and clams, however you want to phrase it. So this is a red sauce. We're going to use my homemade marinara that I made earlier this month. So you can check out the newspaper's website and grab my homemade marinara recipe. So this is fabulous with this dish. So first to get started, I need to prep my garlic. So I'm gonna bump some more flavor into the marinara, which is really gonna make the clams so delicious. So I'm gonna saute about 5 cloves of garlic, which I'm prepping right now. Okay, so my garlic is prepped. I went ahead earlier and soaked the clams in cold water. So let me show you how to clean them up. All right, so you want to soak them repeatedly several times in cold water until the water is sand-free. And then just take a clean sponge and just scrub the outside. Then we're going to drain them and get them ready for our sauce. All right, so you just want to heat your heat on medium. Add some oil into the bottom. So we want a large pot. So we want a good 6-quart pot because we're going to add the clams into there along with my homemade marinara. In goes the garlic and some red pepper flakes. So we just want to saute this until we smell it, until it's nice and fragrant and tender, maybe about 30 seconds to a minute. Gosh, it smells great already. Now we're going to deglaze with about 1/2 cup of good white wine. So one you would pour in a glass and drink. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but one that's really flavorful. So we're going to reduce this by half and then add about 3 cups of my homemade marinara. So I went ahead and I made some ahead and put them into little containers. You can place them into your freezer and freeze them. Then just thaw them. I'm going to rewarm it into the pot here so you don't have to rewarm it separately. Or you could just make this ahead. It doesn't take long. It's really simple, 25-30 minutes to make. In goes the sauce. All right, so you definitely want to bring the heat up. Get the temperature up, about a medium-high heat. You want bubbles all around the perimeter. We want it hot enough so then when we go to steam our clams are prepped, ready to go. We rinse them several times in cold water. We want them sand-free. I scrubbed them a little bit. So now they're prepped, and now we just need to wait for our sauce to come up to temp. So our water has come to a rapid boil. You want to season it vigorously with salt. It should taste like the sea. Plus we're going to get that sea flavor from the clams as well. So this is the time that you season your pasta. Add your linguine. So I have 1 pound of linguine. Here is how my girlfriend Barbie says to me, how do you get your pasta not to stick if you don't add oil into the water? Well, first of all, you never want to add oil because when you then go to add your sauce, it becomes this sort of oil slick, and then your pasta can't adhere all that delicious saucy flavor. So never add it to the boiling water, just salt, that flavors it. But here's how you get it not to stick. As soon as you add it into the water, you just keep tossing it. So that way they don't start to cook and clump together. You don't want to just throw it in there and walk away. So throw it in. Keep gently tossing it until you feel that all the noodles have evenly coated in water. And once you feel that they've coated and they start to get a little pliable, then you just sort of let them go and come to a boil and cook. We are bubbling. Now it's time to add the clams. So I want to give them some room. I'm going to add 1/2 of the clams. So these are little neck clams, and we have about 50 of them here. So add about 1/2 of them, which is about 25. Yes, I know math. So that way it gives them room to breathe, to open up, to cook. And then we're just gonna cover it, simmer it for about 2 to 3 minutes. As soon as they open, we're gonna pull them out into a bowl as they go, and then we're gonna just add the remainder of the clams. All right, so it's been about 4 minutes. So a good tip, give them a little zhuzh, give them a little stir with your tongs, and then it helps them to pop open. And as they open, quickly remove them. The reason why you want to remove them right away as soon as they open is you don't want to overcook them. You don't want them to be tough, you want them to be tender. And any clams that you add into the sauce before you start cooking them, if they're open, discard them because they're no good. See how I use the lid as a shield so I wouldn't mess up my shirt. All right, now I went ahead, drained our pasta, our linguine. So now into the sauce. So very crucial, in order to have a really flavorful pasta, you always want to toss your pasta in with the sauce and let it cook on a simmer for about 2 minutes. It's going to absorb that sauce flavor and be so delicious. That's why we love pasta the next day, because it's sitting in its sauce. You never want to just toss the sauce over the pasta. No, 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 no. It's got to marry. The two have to get to know each other, marry together, and they're so flavorful. So I'm just going to simmer my pasta with my sauce for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to serve this family style into a large pasta bowl. Now we're going to add our clams right on top. Put this on the table with some crusty Italian bread. Oh my gosh, your family is going to love you for this. Okay, now to finish it, tarragon. So tarragon has this beautiful anise flavor, and it's awesome with seafood. And I'm really not a fan of black licorice, the candy, but I love tarragon. It's great in cream sauces too. Look at this bowl of clams. Oh, linguine and clams. Our tarragon right over top. It's beautiful, so beautiful. Now, of course, you know I gotta make myself a nice little bowl of it. We gotta give it a taste. Sophie's by my side. I don't think Sophie would like clams. Oh, but she does like chicken. It's so good. Got a little spice there from those red pepper flakes. Clams are nice and tender. Pasta's perfectly cooked. My grandmother would call all pasta, any shaped pasta, macaroni. So sometimes I call it macaroni too. For this recipe, head over to the newspaper's website. I'm Shereen with Cook This. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.